Hello all. Well, some updates on me. It's been a while again, I know. Now that the weather's warmer, that's when I used to do my videos or running around at work, but I've had a crazy couple of weeks. Last Thursday, I left to Florida, and excuse my throat, I'll explain and get to that. But a week before, 2 weeks ago today, I had an endoscope because I've been having stomach issues. Discovered I have a hiatal hernia. I have also a regular hernia. And I was getting such acid reflux no matter what I took, didn't go away. I was having trouble swallowing. I would have to drink to get my food down. And also my throat was killing me and so many other things. And I gotta pull over. There's an ambulance. Even though the car in front of it did not pull over. So he did that. When I came to, the doctor told me he thought I had something esophageal or something, which I don't. Did a lot of biopsies. Also, he said, I didn't understand the term he was using, and he said to put it in terms, not that you're not a smart person, but you don't know medical terminology. I had like these, almost like a fish has scales. I had that in my esophagus. My esophagus is undersized as to begin with. Then, to boot, my esophagus was inflamed because the hiatal hernia and the other hernia, I guess, kind of pushed. I don't want to use both my hands, but like this. So, and then it was causing acid and the inflammation on top of the undersized esophagus. Food could not get down, and I don't know what these things that are like fish on a scales on a fish that he removed, but did a bunch of biopsies and also biopsies in my stomach, all negative, except I have a precursor for cancer, which does not mean I have cancer, I'm gonna get cancer. Means you don't address it, it could become cancer. And a friend of mine, I think her cousin or her cousin's husband or cousin's son, I don't know, somebody in her family developed, I forget the term, I really can't think of it right now, Barrett's esophagus, and then I think esophageal cancer of the esophagus. So I'm glad I went to the doctor and just didn't ignore it. So that's a good thing that I did that. So he's also said the esophagus, the bottom of the esophagus had these rings around it. So this is all related. So as I'm on my way to the airport and actually pulling into the airport, my doctor calls, because spoke to the nurse, spoke to my nephew's wife, my niece, who's a nurse, niece through marriage, as I say, and she said, she agreed, the nurse, and no coffee, except what I've been doing. I did it on vacation when I went down to Florida for my niece's wedding, and I just did it today. So in 2 weeks, doing this twice, a shot of coffee, a large, I guess Dunkin's considered large. This was a specialty coffee shop, and today I did Dunkin'. It's large. So, and the specialty coffee shop wasn't really, I think it was more like a medium, even though it was their large. And I do almond milk. Well, actually on vacation I did oat milk because they put whipped cream on top of my nephew's girlfriend's. That one was free. And I was like, sure, why not? And I thought it was a medium, even though it was large. She can't have dairy. So they made it wrong. She's like, just see if someone else wants it. And it was actually had a pump of brown sugar. She said only a quarter coffee, the rest oat milk. So a little more coffee than I wanted, but it was fine. It didn't really bother my stomach. I'm also taking this medication first thing in the morning on an empty stomach that helps digest my food, keep the acid down, and a bunch of other things. I don't know what the hell it's called. Couldn't tell you. So I had that, drank it very slow. It took me a couple hours to drink it, this medium. Then today, and that was Friday or Saturday. Oh, Saturday when we went to the art show before the wedding. So today I asked them, and I thought I was crazy. I said, a pump of brown sugar with just a shot of coffee and the rest almond milk with very light ice. And they're like, what? I know, I'm difficult. I'm very particular, but okay. And then from there, so those are the only 2 times that I had any. Oh, and the first one I don't think was decaf, but today was decaf coffee. And can't have any carbonation, which I really don't want to drink soda. And because once I have, I'll say, oh, I'll just get one soda, and then I want another, and another, and another, and so, and then, so I call myself a soda-holic because I can't seem to stop once I start drinking it again. I'll like not drink it for weeks and weeks. So this kind of helps me because I think more than anything, the soda or anything carbonated will really, and I was not thinking the Sunday before, now I had it the 13th, March 13th. I can remember that because is my mother-in-law. She's passed, but that's her birthday. And so my sister-in-law that Sunday, the 16th, had corned beef and cabbage and potatoes. I had a little piece of corned beef and I slathered it with spicy mustard. And I did it, the potatoes and the cabbage. Took a bite of the meat. Oh, hurt like hell. Burned the crap. I had to drink 2 of these to like get my throat to calm down. And so I scraped the mustard off of the potatoes. I got some more potatoes. Really didn't eat the cabbage. I like cabbage with mustard. By itself, not so much. So where I didn't have the mustard, I went to eat it and I was like, I don't know. So I did have more potatoes and I had them plain. They would actually cooked with the corned beef in the beer. So I was like, okay, what the hell is this traffic? Holy shit. This traffic, it's like a mile long from the light. I can barely see the light. So, okay. So then, I went and, I was like I said, scraped it all off as much as I could. I added some more potatoes to it. I did finish the corned beef because I got as much as I could of the mustard and kept drinking. And so, spot here, spot there. So, that was a realization to me, like, hello, they did say soft foods. Potatoes are soft. So I kind of tried to do that except for the corned beef and potatoes and cabbage. As much as I could until I went to the wedding. And I left late Thursday night, got in. On Thursday, I had for breakfast an iced tea, unsweetened iced tea. For lunch, what did I have? Oh, I had a late lunch, like 3 o'clock, 3:15, when I got to the airport, and I had a milkshake because my throat was killing me. And that like, it was a week, but I don't know why it was hurting so bad that day. And then when we landed, and after midnight sometime, it was like 12:30, I guess. Well, we got off at the exit, and it was another maybe 20 minutes to the place, or it had to be after that, because we didn't get to the Airbnb till almost 1:30. So I turned around, and my daughter's boyfriend had to stop for his fix of chicken nuggets and French fries. So my daughter, I forget what the hell she had. And what are you doing, dude? Your light is red. Light is red, and oh, now it's green. I guess he went to jump the light. So then I got another milkshake, which I do not like McDonald's milkshakes, but I wasn't going somewhere else. There was no ice cream place open, because I feel like it's all a lot of chemicals and not real ice cream. But so I did have the milkshake to soothe my throat, and I think and I got an unsweetened iced tea, so I'd have that at the Airbnb because I didn't know what was there. And they did have filtered water on the refrigerator, so that was good. And then, so we got in very late Thursday, but I had to get up early Friday to take my daughter to rehearsal, because it was very early rehearsal, because the venue was having something Friday night, and the people that, I don't know if it was a wedding or what it was, they were allowed to get into the mansion at 12 o'clock. So they had to be overdone and out of there the latest they had to be off the property, totally done, totally out of there by 11:30. Our brunch was planned for 10:30. The aunts and uncles were invited, not the cousins, but the aunts and uncles, which was nice. So beautiful place. It's our go-to brunch place when I go down there, or anybody goes down there to visit my brother. That's where they take them for brunch. And so that was nice. So I didn't have time to go back to sleep after I brought my daughter. I had to start getting ready, and because the place was like 20 minutes away. But my sister got a Suburban, so she picked up me and my daughter's boyfriend for the brunch, which was nice. Then when brunch was over, we walked around, and what is this car doing? Just sitting there. You were there first, but okay, we're gonna go. It's a 4-way stop. And so we did that, and then we turned around, and from there we walked around a little bit, then left and went back and changed, and then we headed back down to downtown Stewart. That's where the brunch was, and we walked around or whatever. And then we went to Jensen Beach, to this place, Mulligan's. But first, we went to the Thirsty Turtle to eat, which was very good and very, reasonable. Plus, it was happy hour till 7 there, and it was $2 beers. So my daughter, her boyfriend, and my son, my daughter's boyfriend only got one, so he's not a big drinker. But my daughter and my son, I think, got 2 only. And my son's girlfriend didn't get any. See? Not yawning all day. Although I am totally exhausted and still catching up on my sleep. So we closed the place down because people were dribbing, coming in dribs and drabs, as the saying goes, because as they were arriving, whether driving there or getting in from their flight or live around there. So we took over the whole second floor. There was a DJ, this guy he's Scottish, And he took the mic and he was singing whatever, doing karaoke, even though it wasn't supposed to be karaoke. And then he dragged me up there. Well, first he dragged my son up there. Then he dragged me up there. And then my son back up there. And my son dragged the groom-to-be, which is now groom, my nephew, my other nephew, and then different people they were dragging up there. And I ended up there a couple of times. And sometimes not so much singing, but dancing up there. And there was a dance floor, so we were dancing, had a great time. They did get the bride and groom up there. The mother of the groom came up with me, and the mother of the bride, my sister-in-law, and some family members of hers and some family members of ours, and the bride and the bride's sister, my two nieces. And it was just a fun time. People were going up, and then the groom's mom with some of her family and friends, closest friends that came, and they're from South Carolina. Well, not originally, they're from Rochester, New York originally, but what are you doing? You can go. Like, I was going this way, he was going that way. Could have went, but he waited for me to go. I don't know. Maybe he thought I was going to pull something crazy. People don't seem to trust people these days. So, not so much. So then, they turned around and we ended the night, went back to Airbnb, didn't get to sleep till I don't know when. I had to get up very early. My daughter at 7:30 had to be at the Airbnb. I think makeup and hair was starting at like 8 or 8:30. So that was fun. So again, little sleep. I came back, could not fall back to sleep. Plus we were going to go to downtown Stuart because they had an art and craft festival. And that was fun. We had a good time. We left there. We ate though. Where did we eat? I had breakfast at the Airbnb every day, except for Sunday. Yeah, except Sunday. And because it was it was good. The people left breakfast, which so many people are like, oh my God. Like, usually they don't. Breakfast and snacks and coffee. I mean, the coffee pods, the tea. It's not like we have a Keurig and you can just go out and buy coffee, tea. So it was tea bags and there was no kettle. So I just used the Keurig. So, and I actually ate oatmeal, 2 packets of oatmeal a day. There was other stuff I could have ate, but I ate the oatmeal because I wanted to, I don't know, it was very chilly in the morning. It was cold. So I felt like, okay, oatmeal's good. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm freaking yawning like mad all of a sudden. So then I turned around and so that was Saturday. I ate the oatmeal. Oh, for lunch, this place Kilwins, which is homemade ice cream. There is one in New Jersey and there are some other places, but the first time we had it was in Florida. And my brother's like, oh my God, we discovered this great ice cream plant. And it is. It's just so good. I've never had a flavor there that I did not like. So very happy with that. And then after the ice cream, and that's when I had the iced coffee, we walked around. I got my granddaughter these headbands that were really cute. One was mermaids and one was flip-flops. And then I got my grandson, I didn't know what to get him, and so I decided on this shirt that kind of is like little puffy, you know, like almost they attach these like little stuffed things. My son really wanted the Power Ranger one for him, but the small size was 4. The smallest size in the Ninja Turtles was 2, but he's tall, and I felt like it'll fit him in the summer. I don't know. I told my son, do not get rid of it, because that's like something special. So, excuse me. And then from there, what did we do from there? Oh, then we went home and got ready. I ended up doing my own hair. I did ask my nephew's girlfriend, but I felt like there wasn't enough time for me to shower or whatever, and then we just made it. So we Ubered. I had a couple drinks, probably 2 minutes more than I should have, because I don't drink. I wasn't supposed to drink, but I didn't drink the whole weekend except for that night at the wedding. And it was mango Mai Tais, was one of the signature drinks. There was also espresso martinis. One, I really am not supposed to have coffee, but with Kahlua, and I forget what it's called, what kind of espresso. I think it's a light espresso with Bailey's. They did not have Bailey's, so, which was just as well. And I was only going to do one, but the mango Mai Tais were fine. Then there was an after party, and then went home. I did not get to bed until probably 1:30, maybe 2. Probably 1:30 bed by the time I don't know. My kid said I fell asleep right away, but it was close to 2. And they stayed up and ordered Taco Bell, DoorDashed it, and waited an hour for it. So they didn't get to bed till after 3. I was glad that I did not. I'm not a Taco Bell person at all. So, but I might have got something in my, buzzed state. And I had to be up and out the door for 6:30 to take my aunt and my 2 cousins to the airport. Well, I didn't have to. I volunteered to take them. Not really thinking it through, but I'm glad I did, because they had Ubered from the airport to there, and it like a good probably 40 minutes from where they were to the airport, maybe 30 minutes at the least. So that had to be an expensive Uber. And because my aunt has Parkinson's, and she's had knee replacements and a hip replacement, and she walks with a walker, and she doesn't always have to, sometimes a cane, but she feels more comfortable with the walker. My cousin last summer was diagnosed with MS, so she has good days and bad days. So Friday she had a cane at the ceremony and the reception. She needed her walker wheelchair thing, so it's made to hold her. And so yeah, I was glad I could help, like, because my cousin, she was happy to. It's her sister and mother, but I was happy to help. And plus, like, they Ubered to Mulligan's and then back to the thing. That was a little closer. That was like 15 minutes for them, maybe 20. So just because of where it was in Stewart from Jensen Beach, and I don't know if my cousin, their brothers and hers, my aunt's son and his wife, picked them up and brought them back from the reception, or they Ubered. I'm not 100%. So that cost them. So I felt bad, like my cousin now is on permanent disability. My aunt is on a fixed income, and my cousin works, but still, she's got 2 kids. She does have a husband, but I felt bad how much it would have cost them to Uber. So I felt bad. So I was like, okay, I will take them. I couldn't go back to sleep because we had to be out of the Airbnb by 11. Even though weren't leaving till Monday. My daughter was not thinking, obviously, but it worked out for the best. I mean, we went to the beach. Well, we had to go get towels. We went to the beach, and then I'm gonna go get my dog chicken nuggets. She loves McDonald's chicken nuggets because, even though I have food made for her, because I was away and I think she's not happy with me, but that's okay. And then we'll go for a walk. So, we went to the beach. We got towels for the beach, which I ended up fitting in my suitcase. Well, one in my suitcase, one in my carry-on. My son was able to fit his in his checked suitcase. My daughter only brought a carry-on and she didn't want to. She's like, just throw it out. I'm like, it's a big, huge, like 6 foot, 7 foot, I don't know. It's a big towel, but they were lightweight. So I was like, it didn't make my carry-on that much heavier. And I was just under 50 pounds with my suitcase. So I was sweating that one. And if I was a couple ounces over, well, then we were losing that towel because she said, throw it out. So then we went and met at the beach. We do a thing, brunch, after the day after a wedding in my family. And there was 53 of us. So my brother couldn't find a place. Well, he did find one place, but they wanted to charge us $3.50 for the room, which was fine. Divided by 53 people, like $6 or so. Well, by 50, I know it's $7 a person. By 53, I don't know, a couple pennies. So I said, what we could do is just say $7, but it was $26 for bacon, eggs, almost went in the turn lane, bacon, eggs, sausage, and I think pancakes or waffles. So it wasn't worth $26. And I would only eat pancakes and eggs. I don't eat the meat. So, but, oh, I didn't mention, the wedding was gorgeous. My niece looked gorgeous. That, like, everybody looked fabulous. My sister-in-law, who like started last year and then lost so much weight, she went down to a size small from, I don't know what size, but she lost a ton of weight. You can tell. You can clearly tell. And I'm gonna get freaking slammed because you people need to move. I'm like stuck here. So, in the middle of the highway where cars were gonna get the green light because people don't know how to freaking move. So gorgeous. His mother looked fabulous. Everybody, all the bridesmaids, the grooms, even people at the wedding, everybody just looked great. Like, you go to a wedding and sometimes you're like, well, my son had a very loud suit, extremely loud. Paisley, bright colors, like black background but all these bright color paisley things, and it was very busy, very loud. Like, I was like, oh, oh my God. And they're like, you stole the show. And then there was the Scottishman, he wore his kilt, and he said, I didn't think anybody could upstage a man in a kilt, but you did. So that was, but I mean, I thought it was tasteful. It wasn't like, crazy, whatever. But everybody was, because sometimes you're like, really? They're wearing that to a wedding? Like, could have dressed a little better. Not one person you could say that about. Not one person that you could say very inappropriate, where it's kind of like a J-Lo, not to pick on J-Lo, but come down to the belly button where the boobs are hanging out, like barely covered, maybe so low in the back, the crack of the ass, you can practically say nothing. Everybody dressed very tastefully, very appropriate, very nice. There was, as I would say, there's no one whispering about anybody. So no one acting like, sometimes you get that one person that's acting, oh my God. Did you see that person at the wedding? Nope, none of that. So I have to say, overall, everybody, like I said, bride and groom, especially my niece, looked gorgeous. Her dress was gorgeous. It just, I really cannot say enough. It really was a beautiful wedding. Really beautiful. And so yeah, so I think it was just amazing. Really amazing wedding. And then, like I said, we met at the beach because we couldn't find a place that could accommodate us. My sister-in-law said some people laughed at her when they said 15 or 50 people. And she goes, 50. And they're like, yeah, no. They go, that is not a reservation. That is an event. So they finally got this hibachi place. And we just took up 2 of the hibachis. And it's like, you know, like a square, and then there was one chef on one side, one chef on the other. I'm sure people heard of hibachi. And so 2 of them, and there was only supposed to be 50. There wound up being 53 because I guess 3 people that weren't supposed to hang around stay of the family. This is just a meaty family, and I did the math. 19 of those people were, well, okay, so not counting my brother, but he technically is our family, so we didn't count him. So on my niece's, the bride side was her mother, father, her sister, her, the groom, her 2 aunts, her 1 aunt's husband, her grandmother, and then a friend that's been a friend since preschool, kindergarten, I forget, but very, very long time, and they call her aunt. So 10 people. On the groom side with his mother, father, I think his sister and her husband, parents of the groom, of the groom's father, parents of the groom's mother, and her sister. So that's 19. The rest was all my family. So if I was to include my brother, there'd be only 18. And my nieces, because they're our family, but I kind of put them over on my sister-in-law's side. But, I mean, my sister-in-law is our family too. But just to kind of, you know. So, even if you want to say bride's family, groom's family, the groom's family only had 9. And we had the rest. So, we're a very big family. So, well, there's 5 of us kids, so. And then our kids, my sister and my brother, the only 2 that are married. And I didn't count my brother, so. So, our kids and their significant others. So, crazy. But it was really great. They let the groom go behind and cook. You know, he showed him what to do, and then he's like, okay, you know, and he let him put the chef's hat on. And so we got that on video, and he had a great time, the groom. And so he did that. It was fabulous. And so it was just so much fun. Really a lot of fun. Our reservations was 7:45. We got there at 7:30. They probably sat us at 7:45. And then from there, we had to leave there when we left there after 10, drive to the hotel, which was about 15, maybe 20 at the most from, I would say 15, from the airport. And we didn't get settled because my daughter said, oh, I'll sleep on the pull-out couch. I wouldn't have pulled the couch out. I would have just slept on it. There was no bedding, no sheets, no blankets. So my son had to go downstairs. I need this. They took my pillows, and I had to get up at 3:30 to take my daughter and her boyfriend to the airport for 4 o'clock. It's not a happy camper, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. Took them, came back. I got back at like 10 to 5, quarter to 5, something like that. Because by the time we didn't leave until probably close to 4. By the time I got up, got dressed, went to the bathroom, did all that, and then we walked down and we got to the car. I think it was like around 4. Maybe it was a little after 4. So, and then get to the airport to wait to pull in, and my daughter was just like, finally my daughter was just like, let us out. Because people were not moving. So, and I was trying, and then people would go around me and then go up a little bit and pull in a spot. And I'm like, do you not think I'm waiting here? Because I couldn't move from in front of me, and I couldn't move to the right. So I was kind of double parked. They got out. I didn't even get out. And then back to the hotel. Up the stairs. Back to the room. I laid down, probably got another 2 hours sleep. Woke up at 8, because by the time I fell out, maybe 2.5 hours sleep. Woke up at 8 because my alarm went off. We were shooting to leave for 8:30, and I think we did. I think we ended up leaving by 8:30, but I had to put my clothes on that I was going to be wearing, because I was after the hotel, because the hotel was south and I was going north to my friends. So I'm like, I'm not going back south, showering and doing, I'm like, screw it. I had taken a shower the night before, so I was good. So I was like, I didn't wash my hair, but I didn't care. So drop them off the airport. Again, I'm like, I ended up with them though. I did get in, but we were waiting a little bit, and then finally a car pulled out and I pulled in. So they got out and they did that. Then I headed to my friends, and it was supposed to be about 3 hours. It ended up taking about 3.5, because I did stop for gas and to go to the party, and halfway there, and then when I got back on 95, it took me a different way, and I'm like, this is not the exit it originally was on a minute ago. So it says, do you want to, so I don't know, maybe between the time I stopped and maybe it was a blessing, maybe there was an accident, so it redirected me a different exit. I don't know, but they're like, no, I told my friend it's going to be closer to 1:30, not 1. So that I headed there at like 10 by the time, because I guess we got to the airport later than I thought. And so I didn't get there till about 1:30. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. So I got there. They showed me around their new home, everything gorgeous. Then me and my friend headed out. Her husband's like, oh, you guys go, you girls go. We went into Tampa, because they're outside of Tampa. So it was a bit of a 20-minute ride. We went into, I guess what it's considered downtown Tampa. I'm not really sure. But there's the Riverwalk at Tampa, I think it's called. That might be what it's all called. I don't know. So we went in. They had all these restaurants and bars and stuff, and it was really cool. And we ate in a restaurant in there, like a late lunch, early dinner, and which was fine. And then from there, we went took the walk, the actual walk. There was the Museum of Tampa, the Art Museum of Tampa, or the Museum of Tampa. There was a children's museum. There's the University of Tampa. There was, like, she showed me all these things, and there is a boat, ferry, I don't know what they call it, but it was really cool. She was pointing out things. We walked, like, we did almost 10,000 steps. So we walked along. It was really, really cool. So that was nice. And she was giving me some, history and some things that happened there. So that was really cool. Then we went back, and then we kind of chilled, relaxed. We left there about 8:30, because I got bit. And then I was like, oh, then walking to the car, because I had flip-flops on. I fit No, I didn't have my fit flops. I had my yoga flops, which were fine for the walking. Go up, and I was like, oh my God. So, and I'm going on and on here. But, so then we got back, we sat, relaxed, watched a little TV. About 10 o'clock, I'm like, you know what, I'm heading to bed. I'm falling asleep here. They're like, oh, okay. They're like, sleep in the morning. We're going to sleep in tomorrow too. They're both retired, younger than me, but retired. And he's been retired since 2022. She retired 2 years before that, but contracted. So she did 25 years in her company, and like, she's not collecting a pension. He's collecting 2 pensions because he was in the National Guard Reserves or the Army Reserves, I can't remember. And was in Desert Storm, was activated for that. And he was a corrections officer. So he has 2 pensions. So he was in the corrections for 27 years, but he was in the reserves since he was like 18. So him and his identical twin brother. So then the next morning I got up, my friend made me eggs, and then I took a shower. I felt like a human being. I really did. I was awake at like 5, 6 o'clock, but of course the normal, get up, go to the bathroom. And then I laid back down, and I didn't get up until about 9. I mean, I woke up at like 8:30, but I didn't actually get up till like 9. I smelt coffee, so I knew someone brewed coffee. So I got up and refilled my, my plastic. I had a water bottle like this, but not Poland Springs. They said they can't find Poland Springs around there. So I think it was a Costco one. So took that. It was empty because I drank it through the night, finished it. Put it under, got more water out of the refrigerator thing. And then from there, I, like I said, showered and got dressed. And then we went around in their golf cart, and it's like a resort. They have a 15-acre lagoon. There's you swim out to it, but there's like, a slide, and it's like when you go to like Jamaica, or when we went to Haiti, out in the ocean, there was like this, almost like a water park type thing. And they have that. They have a playground, a water playground for little kids. This is for bigger people. You can rent paddle boards, other stuff. I don't know what else. They have a swim up bar. They have cabanas. They have a little island, and you can swim to the island. You can walk to the island. It would a little over your knees, depending on how tall you are. Maybe to your knees. But if you're shorter, then a little higher. And you can hang out like you're on an island, so that's pretty cool. And then she drove me around to all the different spots. We saw an alligator outside the water, but when she pulled up, because she was driving the golf cart, when she pulled up, my friend, she scared the alligator and he went in. So I got a picture of his head peeking up, but didn't get an actual picture. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, it's fine. I know I got to see it. So then from there, all the different developments. There's a 55 and over, which has 4 units, like 4 houses connected. There is townhouses, there's single family houses, then there's like mansion houses that are like just about $1 million, $800 to $1 million, which down there is a lot, because they're building townhouses and they go low 300s, and they're like 3 and 4 bedrooms. So you wouldn't find that in New Jersey. So I don't know where you're watching from, but New Jersey, you would not find that. It's a great community, very nice area. So they're building on the other side. They're on the one side of the lagoon. On the back side of the lagoon, they're building. And not yet, but they will be building. So that's like, funny. Not funny. That's like, nice. And people will have to get to the resort part, either drive around or take some form of transportation, water transportation, to get over to this side. So I think that's pretty cool. And I got to see so much, and you know, there's golf cart trails that, you know, we went on, and then all this different stuff. And then we went back. They ordered lunch, and she ordered me a pub sub, which is Publix sub, so they call it pub subs, and very good. And then this guy's doing it, looks like it's a new car dealer. You know, it's got that white tape on it. It's got white tape on the hood. I don't know, maybe he's delivering it. Who knows? Maybe one of those CarMax people. I don't know. I'm sitting in the parking lot at McDonald's until I'm gonna order. So my friend Dawn went and got those, and then came back with them. I ate, kind of had to eat and leave. I left there at 2 o'clock. Now, with stopping or whatever, I figured 3.5 hours. Maybe if I hit traffic, 4 at the most. So I left there by 2, and I figured 6 o'clock, it's in the airport, the car rental. And, well, downpour freaking rain. Like a mile of it, then clear. Well, the roads were wet, but a mile of it, clear. So it took me, till almost 7 o'clock. Now, I stopped twice, so I got to take that into account. I filled up once, and then I went and got some, like a snack food. And it was like 3 miles off the exit. Now, mind you, by the time I pulled in the first gas station, because I had 4 miles till empty. Because getting caught in this rain and have to go slower, I did hit some traffic. I was like, holy crap. I was like, there was really, on this one stretch of highway that was miles and miles and miles, nowhere to get gas. So I was like, oh shit, if I run out of gas, I'm just gonna die. Then I'm like, I'm not gonna make my flight. And I was really, really freaking upset by this. But 4 miles, I pull in, boom. I said $31. I didn't know. And it took it to almost full. So then when I got to the airport, I went, and I didn't think it was bad because average gas price was $3.19. And right by the airport, I had no clue. And I said to the girl, I want to fill it up. And there you got to prepay and you got to pump your own gas, which not a big deal. So I said, okay, 20. So I had to wait for someone in front of me that their card wasn't working or something. And then finally it went through and she's like, oh, you're good. So that took like about 5 minutes at least. Then I'm having this conversation with her and I said, all right, here, I'll give you 20. She goes, yes, if it doesn't go through, I will come in. I will give you whatever you don't use back. Well, 20. And it was like, it cut off because that's what she put in. And I got in the car to start it to see, and I'm like, woohoo! 20 was perfect, full. So put the cap back on, whatever. By the time and to figure out where I was going in the airport with the rental car, and it was like 7:20. And I'm like, by the time they check, oh, okay, you're all good, whatever, full tank of gas. Then I have to wait for the bus. So I wait for the bus. And actually, it must have been quicker than that because at 7:20, I was getting into security. And I said to my brother, can you do me a favor? He said he's at Chili's. I said, I'm going through security. Can you get me cheese quesadillas? So, I got to security at 7:28. Because he said, we're at Chili's, whatever. Do you want something? And I said, cheese quesadillas, because I know Chili's has those. So he goes, the kitchen's about to close. They don't have cheese quesadillas. I said, just get me grilled cheese. And if they don't have that, just fries. I don't care, whatever. So by then I had to throw my phone in the thing, whatever. So they got me a kid's grilled cheese with fries. So it was like $7. So that was like nothing. So, oh, and an unsweetened iced tea. But they gave me like a small one because it came with the kids' meal, I guess. I don't know. So my nephew's like, I don't worry about it. I said, I'll throw the tip because I already did the tip on the app. So I was like, Jonathan. So I threw the lady another $5 because they had been sitting there a while and drinking. Well, not drinking, but, well, my brother was drinking beer, but my nephew was drinking, I think, soda or iced tea. I don't know which. So I felt they were there a while, so an extra $5. It's because I had a 5, and I was like, okay, I'll throw $5 because I had a lot of 20s. So, and now I felt bad. She was, doing that deal with my brother, but hey, I'm not throwing her a 20. I didn't feel that bad. So then we got on the plane. Extremely, extremely bumpy ride. I had to, halfway through the flight, take half of my Xanax. And so then I dozed on and off because on the way down my flight, the TV did not work. Totally blank. I got a right to JetBlue. About that. The guy goes, oh, I'll reset it, whatever. And then he comes around with blankets, the pillows, all this crap. Headphone for sale. And I was like, my TV, oh, I'll get to it. Then he comes around, snacks. I go, oh, my TV, I'll get to it. Then the drinks, I'll get to it. Never got to it. So I put my phone on. I watched a movie, Anora. Starts out a little like, holy crap, is this porn? Because she's a dancer, not to spoil it. She's a dancer, so they're topless. And then, they're giving lap dances or whatever. But it won Best Picture, from what I understand. Fabulous movie. So I was like, okay. So really good. And it ended like 5 minutes before we landed getting there. So I was really happy with that. The flight took us longer than normal because of the storms. He went out west and turned around and came back. And these are my nails because I had a pink dress. They are a little weird because they turned like this pinky orange and they were like a deep pink. So I don't know what happened, but they did. And it was before I went to Florida. Someone said, oh, maybe the sun in Florida. No, it was before I went to Florida. Yes. Did they get worse in Florida? Yes. But it happened before I went to Florida. They started turning. So I don't know what the deal is with these, but I'm going to complain to my nail girl next time I go. And then, so coming back, storms, like I said, my thing would go on and off my TV, number one. Number two, if it stayed on, all of a sudden the volume went full blast. And I was like, oh my God. So I gave up on that and I kind of dozed and on and off. That was after the Xanax. Well, I did try to sleep, but I couldn't before. But after the half of Xanax, I was dozing on and off. When it got really bumpy, I would wake up and then it would kind of calm down. I'd fall asleep. And everybody clapped when we finally touched down. So that's how bad the flight was. So then my brother hijacked my friend. Well, should say, got in my friend's car, which he knows too very well. He's like, telling me, and I was like, what do you mean? I go, you have to get your car, they had to get my nephew's car. And I'm like, that's like 20 minutes off the park. Okay. Well, we didn't get in until 11:30. Then the carousel for the luggage was not working because they were testing the alarm system. Really? You can't do that 2 o'clock in the friggin' morning when there's like no flights? You have to do that because there were so many flights that were landing. They had to manually on, 2 carts, a 2-tier cart, pull, they had like one after another, the luggage coming out. So my luggage is there and the lady is trying to get my luggage. This lady who was in a chair from West Palm to there, she turns around and jumps up. She needed a chair. Yeah, okay. So I think she just wanted, her mother did need a chair. but I think she wanted to go on with her mother. But people with disabilities, go with your mother on the flight. You don't need to get in a chair. Well, she was wheeled from the gate, from the security, all the way through to the plane. Got first on the plane, then I was off the plane, one of the first ones off the plane. She gets, but when that luggage, she jumps up and runs when she spotted her luggage. And so, because the guy said, as she jumps up, he goes, "Oh, I'll get that." And he's like, looking like, seriously, you're running. She did have workout pants, sneakers, and she was, and she, too much sauce. Her lips were really big, and she had too much cosmetic surgery, in my opinion, anyway. She looked fake, plasticky. So I was just like, seriously, you really needed that. You ran over there. And then hers, there was one on top of hers. Well, she goes to pull it. I'm trying to get my suitcase, which has been pulled down. She's trying, instead of taking that suitcase off and then taking hers, the suitcase goes and falls. So then I have to walk around to get my suitcase. I get my suitcase. Do you think my brother, no, he's smoking. No, let's not help her with this almost 50-pound suitcase. I mean, I know it has wheels, but he did put it in the car for me. But it wasn't 20 minutes off the park. It was like about 15. So that adds a half hour. I left my car at my job. So I have a 20 minutes to home. So add a half hour and then 20 minutes on top of what it would have been 40 minutes. So it really took us over an hour to get to my job. I didn't get there until after 1. By the time I got home, it was a little after 1:30. I went a little faster than I should have because I was tired and I just wanted to get home. Then my dog's running around crazy and I'm like, oh God, I gotta take her out. Take her out. Just a very quick walk. As soon as she peed, I was like, you're done. So bring her back in and get changed. I didn't even bring my suitcase in, and I don't know if you could see. Where is it? There's a suitcase still, people. I have still yet to. Then I get a thing yesterday when I got home from work, paper folded in my door, that they're coming to clean out my dryer vents. Are you freaking kidding me? My thing was beeping right before I left. So I said, you know what? I'll wait till I come back and deal with that. Who's going to be here? My dog, and it's beep. Half a minute later, beep. 30 seconds later, beep. So I was just like, fine. My sister-in-law went over in the afternoon to take care of my dog and walk her, and my niece at night. So, okay. Feed her and walk her too. So, okay. Well, now I have to deal with this dryer vent thing. So last night I was like, oh, put in the thing. So they better have come today to do my smoke detector, because I had to lock my dog in my master bedroom, which is big, and it has a bathroom, which is big, but I hate locking her in there because she gets crazy. So yeah. So, and I've been talking almost an hour, which I'm sure is not great for my throat. And I have to get my dog her chicken nuggets to say thank you for missing me, and you're a good dog, because she loves her McDonald's chicken nuggets. My sister-in-law goes, are those good for her? I'm like, well, probably not, but she loves them. So the minute she smells them, as soon as I walk in the apartment, she is going to go ballistic. She's starts running around in circles and whatever. But yeah, so, oh my God. Yeah, it's like almost 59 minutes. So I'm going to end this. I did meet that guy for dinner, and taking it very slow, a hug, a kiss. I haven't seen him before I went away. Did not see him. Had too much to do. He wants to do dinner again, and he said, 10-year plus relationship. He's not ready for anything more than hug and a kissing, so I'm happy with that. And he did reach out. How's the trip going? Whatever. And he said that we have to pick a date for dinner when you get back. So I said, okay. So I didn't know if he meant pick a date now for when you get back, so I said, okay, when I get back, I'm not available till after Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to end this now, And I promise I will try at least, I'm not going to say every day, but every other day to make a video and post it. All right. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody has warmer weather where they are. And I hope the cold weather is over. I don't mind the cold, but I don't like walking in it. So I hope everybody's March so far is great. Everybody's healthy. And that's all I have to say. Now I have to go get my dog's chicken nuggets. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.